speculate a little. So I just want to quote Dr. Faget there, who was one of the team that designed the shuttle. He does not believe that anything about the cause of the explosion can be discerned from any of the tapes that have been playing on the air. ABC's Lynn Scher at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or out in California at least, not at the Jet Propulsion Lab. Yes, Lynn?
Peter, I also just got some information about Max Faget, coincidentally, and it's my information that he has said he simply has no idea. He, of course, being the man, a man largely responsible for designing the shuttle. I wanted to add a couple of things, and it's along the same line. We've talked about, let's narrow it down, the three possibilities that could have caused this thing. One, that was one of the solid rocket boosters. Two, that it was one of the main engines. Let me show you on the model. Perhaps it was one of the two solid rocket boosters. Perhaps it was a main engine that simply let go and caused the fire, or perhaps it was the external tank itself that ruptured. I think the important thing to keep in mind, it has been pointed out to me, is that this was so catastrophic that it is probably not an engineering problem, i.e., these structures just don't fall apart like that, or they're certainly not meant to. There is no history to indicate that they would do that. Yes, we have seen that flame at about the midpoint or the lower third of the tank. Whether the flame started there and there was a rupture in the tank or a fuel line that caused it, or whether in fact that's a secondary reaction from an explosion in one of the engines or somewhere else, we simply don't know. And I think the quote you were reading from Dr. Faget is obviously to the point. One
Lynn,
final note. Yeah.
He also does say, having said that he can't see anything on the tape, he also say the flame observed between the shuttle and the external tank could be a fire inside the shuttle burning through the skin. Has anybody else suggested that to you?
Nobody has suggested that to me. That is one area that I haven't heard of. But the flames, sure, it could have started anywhere, but there are flames around the engine. There are flames around the edges of the solid rocket boosters. There is enough heat generated there that if any of the liquid hydrogen or oxygen were to escape from the main tank, that would obviously cause that kind of explosion. The only good news in all of this, and it's not such good news, but it may be helpful news, let's call it that, was pointed out to me that there is no time during a shuttle flight when there is more telemetry than during the ascent phase. In other words, while the shuttle is going up at exactly the time that it exploded, reams of material is coming down and going into the monitors and onto tapes and everything down at Mission Control in Florida and in Houston. If there is a way to analyze that data, they have a shot at it, because they have just about every bit of information that they need to know already in their memory banks.
Well, what's your own sense? Can they do it fast enough to satisfy a clearly anxious nation?
I don't think so, no. I think that it's going to be, a long time. I just spoke to another former shuttle astronaut who pointed out that this is such a stunning blow to the space program. Who knows when they will be able to figure it out.
Lynn, thank you very much indeed. I just want to go back to Dr. Faget.